Episode number 819, The Importance of One-to-Ones.
You're listening to the official BNI podcast with BNI founder and Chief Visionary Officer, Dr. Ivan Misner. Stay tuned for networking and referral marketing tips from the man who's been called the father of modern networking, along with suggestions and insights into getting the most from your membership in the world's largest networking organization, BNI.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the official BNI podcast. I'm Priscilla Rice, and I'm coming to you from Live Oak Recording Studio in Berkeley, California, and I'm joined on the phone today by the founder and the Chief Visionary Officer of BNI, Dr. Ivan Misner. Hello, Ivan. How are you, and where are you?
I am in Belfast, Northern Ireland this week. I'm doing a BNI event, and I'm attending a TLC meeting, a Transformational Leadership Council meeting, which was started by Jack Canfield. Jack's become a good friend of mine over the years, and I go to most all of the meetings. The guest that we had for the last 2 weeks, Sam Horn, I met in TLC, so it's been a great place to meet incredible, successful people.
Yeah, I'd love to hear more about that sometime because I know how much you like to go to those meetings.
Yeah, I always walk away with some great ideas.
Great.
So today I'm going to be talking about the importance of one-to-ones, and I'm going to start off by referring people to episode number 570. One of the things that I tell people is people need to understand the why before they understand the how. And most of my podcast is going to be about the how. But if you go listen to episode number 570, you're going to get the why. Why are one-to-ones so important? And here's the Reader's Digest version. You'll double the number of referrals you get. Period. Full stop. That's why. And it's based on a survey that was done in Europe of a BNI region. And they found that people who do 4 one-to-ones a month versus people who do 1 one-to-one a month give twice as many referrals. But more importantly, they get twice as many referrals as people who do only 1 one-to-one a month. Episode number 570, that's the why. Now let's talk a little bit about the how. So for years, I've said that successful networking is really about building relationships with the people in your network. In addition to attending regular networking groups like BNI, it's imperative that you have one-to-one meetings with your fellow members outside of the groups. This allows you to get a deeper understanding about their business, their products, their services, their customers, and to learn how you can refer them to the people you know. That's the key. It's also a way for them, of course, to do the same for you. However, some people decline to have one-to-one meetings with their networking partners. I've had several conversations with Tiffany Kellogg, who's been on the BNI podcast many times, and she's in Central Florida. And we discussed the question on one podcast, when is it okay to say no to a one-to-one? And the answer is never. It's never okay to say no to a one-to-one. That is, if you still want to generate referrals from that member. So what's the purpose of a one-to-one? The purpose of a one-to-one is to build relationships with other networking partners to move through the VCP process, visibility, credibility, profitability. Depending on where you're at, doing those one-to-ones help you move to the next level, particularly to get you to profitability where you're passing referrals to each other. If we say no to a one-to-one meeting, if we're too busy for our fellow members, then it's stopping that relationship. It's putting the brakes on the VCP process. Think about it. If you're too busy for a one-to-one, how are you going to have time to take care of the referrals that people want to give you? So you never know what can come from a one-to-one, even if you don't think that person has much to contribute to you. I once went to a business meeting and sat next to a college student. At first I thought, geez, what am I doing sitting next to this college student? There are all these business people that I want to sit next to. And I thought to myself, okay, buck up, buttercup. You're an expert on networking. Network with this student. So I asked her a lot of questions and I got her to open up. I think I may have mentioned this in a podcast years ago. And guess what happened? After the meeting, one of the business associates came up to me and said, thank you. I said, why? He said, nobody ever talks to my daughter like that. They all want to sit next to other business people, but you got her to open up. And I really appreciate what you did. I ended up making a good connection with the father. And I And I hardly talked to him at all in the past, but now I made a great connection with him. You never know where a one-to-one can lead. So here are some tips to making a one-to-one easier, or at least making it easier to say yes to one-to-one. First, schedule it well in advance. Find a date that's convenient for both of you. A one-to-one meetings are always more successful when both members have time to prepare. Two, schedule outside your busiest season. We all understand that certain times of the year are busier for some professions, such as accountants during tax time and retail stores during holiday season. So people appreciate when we can respect their time restraints. Three, have a purpose and a format for the meeting. You can ask, what's the intention for the meeting? Well, what are we looking for to accomplish? And here, utilizing the gains exchange. You should know, if you're a BNI member for any length of time, you should know what the gains exchange is. It stands for goals, accomplishments, interests, networks, and skills. Go back to that podcast that I mentioned earlier with the study, and you'll see a copy of the gains exchange there. It's a very powerful format for for the first time one-to-one, and for follow-up one-to-ones occasionally. Next, stack multiple one-to-one meetings on the same day at the same location. This saves you time traveling to multiple locations on different days, and you can also schedule virtual meetings back to back, which, by the way, I do every year. I call it Founders Day. Founders Day is the last Thursday of June, where I do about 12 one-to-ones in one day. And I urge you on Founders Day to do the same. It's right around my birthday. And a few years back, I decided that the best birthday gift for me was to be able to talk to members. And so I started doing Founders Day, last Thursday of June every year. Do a couple of one-to-ones. You don't have to do a whole day like I do, but do at least a couple of one-to-ones on Founders Day for BNI. So you pick 1 or 2 days a week, block off time for meetings with your referral partners or future referral partners. And last, when someone asks you for a meeting, it's okay to ask what they want to talk about and how long they think it'll take. Having an agenda can help you decide how soon you want to schedule a meeting. The gains exchange makes a good agenda. And it also helps you, figure out whether you need a one-to-one or just a quick conversation. So just to wrap up, business networking is all about taking the time to build genuine, trusted relationships, investing the time and the effort into getting to know your networking members through productive referral generating one-to-one meetings is the key to networking success. And if you don't believe that, look at the data. Check out episode 570, more one-to-ones equal more referrals. There's hard data. If you do 4 one-to-ones a month, you're going to get twice as many referrals as if you only do 1 one-to-one a month. That's my message for today. Priscilla, is there anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, what I'd like to add, and I've learned this from experience, is one of the coolest things about doing the one-to-ones is that you can then give referrals so much easier.
Yes.
To the people, because you get to actually, you get a real understanding of what they have to offer. And if it's a successful one-to-one and you feel really confident now that you like this person, you want to refer them, it just makes it so much easier.
Yeah, it really does. And it feels great to give referrals, doesn't it? When you come to, I know when I go to a meeting, I feel great to be able to give a referral to somebody.
Yeah.
And the beauty of the one-to-ones is that there's also a direct correlation in getting the referrals, that you not only give twice as many referrals, but you actually get twice as many referrals. Look at the data. It shows it very clearly. So it truly is, it's an absolute perfect example of giver's gain. You go to give and you also gain by doing one-to-ones.
Right. It's a magical part of BNI, the one-to-one.
Yeah, it really is. It really is, because from doing that one-to-one, you get to, go over the next few weeks and actually pass referrals to your friends. Hey, we're kind of wrapping this podcast up a little early. So, and I know the next thing you do is mention Meisner audio programs. So I thought maybe I would just take a minute or two and talk about some of the audio programs that are available at meisneraudioprograms.com. There's a great a recording series called The Secret to Great Leadership Teams. And that's a fantastic audio package aimed specifically at BNI. There's also Networking and Word of Mouth, which is a generic audio package, an extended package. It's a long package talking about networking in general. One of my favorites is the BNI Visitor Experience. I listen to a lot of my stuff and I go, that doesn't sound so good. But when I listen to the Visitor Experience, I was like, yeah, that's good. I did a good job on that one. So the Visitor Experience is a great audio package. There's an audio package on a couple of my books, Truth or Delusion. It's a summary of the book, and also Masters of Success, a summary of the book. And two other packages, Entrepreneurs, Everyday Leaders. It's really about, being an entrepreneur is being a leader. And I have BNI Networking Secrets, some great content from me about some of the secrets to being successful. If you're interested, there's a link to all the packages, and you get a pretty deep discount if you get them all. And at the same time, a really big discount, like it's a fraction of getting them individually. And of course, here on BNI Podcast, as you're going to mention, Priscilla, if you use Ivan50, you get a 50% off on everything, and all the money goes to the BNI Foundation. So I think I've used up all my time this week. Priscilla, thank you so much. You always do a great job on these. I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you, Ivan. Well, as you said, this is it for this week. And this podcast is sponsored by MeisnerAudioPrograms.com. These audio programs will provide you with the tools and the inspiration to powerfully enhance your BNI experience. So check out the great material that's available to you at MeisnerAudioPrograms.com and use the promo code IVAN50 for 50% off of everything. All of the proceeds go to the BNI Foundation. Thank you so much for listening. This is Priscilla Rice, and we look forward to having you join us again next week for another exciting episode of the official BNI podcast.